The madman is a dreamer awake. Whoever loves becomes humble. Those who love have, so to speak, pawned a part of their narcissism. We are never so completely ourselves as when we are alone. The great question that has never been answered and which I have not yet been able to answer despite my 30 years of research into the feminine soul is, what does a woman want? Men are not gentle creatures who want to be loved, and at the same time they are very powerful beings who want to be loved. The mind is like an iceberg. It floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. Dreams are the royal road to the unconscious. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. The voice of the intellect is a soft one, but it does not rest until it has gained a hearing. The ego is not master in its own house. Civilization began the first time an angry person cast a word instead of a rock. Most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. Love and work, work and love, that's all there is. Men are strong so long as they represent a strong idea. They become powerless when they oppose it. The only person with whom you have to compare yourself is you in the past. From error to error, one discovers the entire truth. A look into the depths of space and time is the best cure for human hubris. Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. He who has eyes to see and ears to hear may convince himself that no mortal can keep a secret. If his lips are silent, he chatters with his fingertips. Betrayal oozes out of him at every pore. Time spent with cats is never wasted. The creative writer does the same as the child at play. He creates a world of fantasy which he takes very seriously. Immortality is but a series of misunderstandings. Neurosis is the inability to tolerate ambiguity. When inspiration does not come to me, I go halfway to meet it. A man should not strive to eliminate his complexes, but to get into accord with them. Every normal person, in fact, is only normal on the average. The first requisite of civilization is that of justice. There are no mistakes in the life which, when looked at from the right angle, cannot be made useful. Human beings are funny. They long to be with the person they love, but refuse to admit openly. Some are afraid to show even the slightest sign of affection because of fear that their feelings may not be recognized, or even worse, returned. Where does a thought go when it's forgotten? Anatomy is destiny. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. In the small matters, trust the mind. In the large ones, the heart. We are what we are because we have been what we have been. Opposition is not necessarily enmity. It is merely misused and made an occasion for enmity. The creative process is not controlled by a switch you can simply turn on or off. It's with you all the time. A fear of weapons is a sign of retarded sexual and emotional maturity. The goal of all life is death. The act of birth is the first experience of anxiety, and thus the source and prototype of the affect of anxiety. Anyone who goes to a psychiatrist should have his head examined. Behind every exquisite thing that existed, there was something tragic. The psychoanalysis of neurotics has taught us to recognize the intimate connection between wetting the bed and the character trait of ambition. Flowers are restful to look at. They have neither emotions nor conflicts. The tendency to aggression is an innate, independent, instinctual disposition in man. Sadism is all right in its place, but it should be directed to proper ends. The first human who hurled an insult instead of a stone was the founder of civilization. The voice of reason is soft, but it is very persistent. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. The liberty of the individual is no gift of civilization. It was greatest before there was any civilization.